Hey guys, MaxLPQueen here, and welcome back to some more Planet Zoo. In the last episode, we kind of almost finished up the scenario here for the Myers Entertainment Park. But unfortunately, I had to do a bunch of stuff off screen because I didn't say it in the video, but I kinda didn't really understand what this meant here. Like, I understand, I had a broad understanding of what it meant, but I didn't know what I was supposed to do because pretty much every animal that we have at the zoo can't coexist with any other animal, and if it can, it's not one that we can have in our animal trading area. So what I ended up doing was kind of looking up a video on it and trying to figure out what to do. And what I figured out basically is that the this exhibit here has pronghorn antelopes, and it also has springboks in it, which are coexisting together. And I looked up the springbok little information here and remembered in the information panel what it had said, where it could coexist with zebras and giraffes and wildebeest and stuff like that. So I went to the animal trading and I was lucky enough to be able to get a zebra and a wildebeest, I believe, sable antelope. And I thought if we put those in here with these guys, that'll be two coexisting, and then it'll be four because, of course, we'll have the antelope and the zebra, and that'll be four existing, and then increasing the overall welfare to 8%, which shouldn't be too big of a deal and shouldn't be too big of a problem either to do. So as soon as these guys get into the exhibit, we're going to go ahead and probably finish up this scenario. So basically we don't really have very much to do on screen today, so this is probably going to be a pretty short episode. So a lot has pretty much happened off screen. The wind turbines that I posted around, they got to 12 months, so we powered everything in the zoo with wind turbines for 12 months. Unfortunately, a lot of them are in a place where they can't get reached to by mechanics, so that's what all these little things are here. But there we go, we've completed the Myers Animal Entertainment Park, so let's see what Dominic has to say real quick.
The power's not turning off every 5 minutes. It's got clean running water. Honestly, this zoo is better than most of the properties I rent out back in London. Although they do have more animals, specifically rats. Yes, these zoos are doing wonders for the Myers brand. Oh, and you'll never guess who visited. You remember Bernard? His daughter. What's her name, Goodwin? Emma, that's it. Sorry I didn't bring her around to meet you, but she was in a bit of a hurry. Just a flying visit. But she was very impressed with everything I have achieved with these zoos. She said they honoured the memory of her father. Although she also said not to contact her to confirm that. Anyway, pack your bags. No, I'm not firing you. Yet. You're going to Brazil.
Okay, so apparently we are going to Brazil next. But I wanted to go ahead and kind of tell you guys what happened off screen. So it says important alerts require attention, of course. So I put in the bears in their habitat here, and since they obviously literally can't have snow because we're in the middle of the Indian desert or whatever, they've got diseases and they're dying. All of the peacocks pretty much had diseases and died as well. Well, they didn't die, but I sent off all the peacocks. So everything pretty much is just getting viruses. I don't know how and I don't know why, but they're all getting viruses. And also the lemurs that I placed in this area here, I'm pretty sure they all died. I think they did. Yeah, I think they all died. Maybe one might be left. Yeah, there's one there. That's doing good. But basically, when I put the lemurs in, I forgot to put in their water and food dishes. and I wasn't paying attention to any of the alerts that come on the screen. So literally the alert that went off and said green-tailed lemur had died, and I was like, what? So I come over here and looked, and it died of dehydration. And I was like, oh, I forgot to put food and water in, because again, this is not Zoo Tycoon where the zookeepers will come in and just place the water and food bowls for them if they don't have any in the exhibit. You have to put them in there or they're going to die. So I did that. I moved around some of the wind turbines that were just literally in the middle of nowhere, like this, just where mechanics can't get to them. But I didn't move all of them because they were still running properly. So as you can see, they're not running properly anymore. Mechanics can't get to them. This zoo is basically a mess. The capybaras kept escaping from their exhibit, so I fixed theirs and made it like glass instead, so that they couldn't get out because they kept escaping and the electric fence kept going off. We have mechanical failures everywhere. Nothing is powered on anymore. Basically, the zoo is a mess. It's a gigantic mess, and I'm so glad we're done with it. But I'm actually really excited that we managed to finish it within like 3 episodes, because normally when I do zoos like this, it takes me 4, 5, or 6 to complete the whole scenario. So I'm glad we kind of managed to complete the scenario in an amount of time that was decent. So let's go to the main menu actually, because we're finished with this zoo now. So that's going to be probably it for this episode. I'm going to make it a little bit shorter, but we will go ahead, since this is a really, really short episode, and kind of talk about what just happened. So Bernard said that, or not Bernard, the Dominic guy or whatever his name was, he said that he met Bernard's daughter, Emma, I believe was her name, and she apparently said she liked his place, but unfortunately she didn't. I know she didn't. She just said that she did, and she was like, hey, don't contact me again. Cool. Because the guy's a weirdo and he loves making profits off of everybody, so we don't trust him. But Emma apparently is Bernard's daughter, so maybe we'll be dealing with her a little bit more. Maybe that'll be a different change of pace than that weird guy who has an obsession with just money and everything else. But he did say that we were off to Brazil in the Myers Rainforest Conservation Project, which will be our next zoo that we will be going into. So there's something in the air at the site of the brand new Myers Rainforest Conservation Project, but it's not excitement, and it smells really bad. It's difficult enough building a zoo from the ground up, but in this case you'll be starting from well below ground level in a disused quarry. And as it's a new zoo, you can expect plenty of teething problems. But as Dominic might say, you're just the dummy. You're the just dummy. So like a little bit of a typo there. You're just the dummy to placate them. So apparently we are still going to be dealing with Dominic, which is unfortunate because I really didn't want to deal with him anymore. So you know what? Just for now, since this zoo is pretty much going to be our starting point for the next episode, we will go into it just to see what's going to happen, so that we can kind of get a grip on what we'll need to do by the next episode, since we kind of finished that one a little bit quickly. Unfortunately, we'll still be dealing with Dominic, but let's see what he has to say, I guess. He'll obviously have something to say about this situation. Or something, I don't know. He just loves buying properties and putting zoos there. Oh, it's Nancy!
Wales. From what I've been reading in the papers, I guess I was right about your boss, eh? Good on you for sticking it out with him, though. I'm not sure I would have had the self-control. Listen, I won't take up too much of your time, but you might be getting some interesting news soon. I've put in a word for you with a friend. Anyway, mustache, I think my dinner's burning. Keep your ears open.
Welcome to your new zoo. Except it's not actually a zoo yet. Now, before you start, you might want to clean up the site a bit. There's a teeny tiny chance that there are massive amounts of toxic waste here. Even for a disused quarry, the land was extremely cheap. Oh, and also extremely steep. So I suggest you build a gondola ride to get the customers around. I mean, I say suggest, but that's actually a direct order. Also, looking around the area next to the building site, I couldn't help but notice a lot of very poorly animals. I expect they must have gotten lost. Really, really lost. Especially the snow leopards. How about I arrange for them to be rescued so you can make them healthy? I think that's the right thing to do. After all, normally I'd have to pay for new animals. Plus, making them healthy again will really impress the inspector, who I just remembered is coming. All right, off you go.
Okay, so apparently Nancy might be having something up her sleeve, which would be absolutely nice to finally have a bit of a break from this Dominic guy, because I completely forgot we actually got hired by him as our new boss whenever Bernard mysteriously went missing and turned up dead or whatever. So anyway, the story portion of it, now Nancy has some good news for us, so I'll keep an eye out for that. I was glad to see her for once. But Dominic apparently has us needing to renovate this nasty old quarry place and turn it into an actual zoo, so good for us. So basically we need to remove the toxic waste barrels, adopt and place the rescue animals, and then have at least 350 guests in the zoo. So that's what our goal is going to be for the next episode here, is to work on this zoo. Normally I don't like to start a new zoo when we finish another one, because the story portion of it is what I'm basically going through and doing, the career mode. But I won't go ahead and start on this zoo today. I think what we are going to do is we will go ahead and end off the episode here. Unfortunately, it is going to be a short episode, just a little 12-13 minute episode. And obviously, I don't think it should be that big of a deal. I mean, the past episodes we've had have been actually pretty long, so I think a short one was definitely needed. But we finished up the Myers Entertainment Park, and next time we come back, we are going to do the Myers Rainforest Conservation here. We're going to get started on this quarry and hopefully turn it into a prospering and healthy zoo. I'm hoping to do a little bit better with this one than I did with the last one, because it is kind of like a blank slate. So maybe we can possibly turn this into something beautiful and not have it be an ecosystem for this stuff right here, which I definitely don't like. Having all these little alerts pop up all the time. Maybe we'll get lucky with this one and we won't have to worry about too many alerts. But that's going to be it for this episode, you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and we have completed the park. And next episode, we will get started on this one. So I will see you in the next one.